Hello, happy Sunday and welcome back to another Sandra's Stamp and Craft Studio. So today's live, I'm going to bring you another different set and a little bit of a different look, although I have done some more blending for today. Now I had this idea in my head and I did actually make a template up today. That's just telling me I should be in the right place. So yes, I have actually done a preview for one for tonight. So I kind of know it's going to work for me. Just a little bit of patience with some blending. But not a blue sky this time like last time. I'm doing a multicolored kind of like a sunset look. And yeah, some different characters on here. Some of them I've prepped for you ahead of time just to save a bit of time. Okay, so let's get down onto the table and we will see what I've got. There you go. So the set that I've got here, I've had it a few weeks and this is actually the Snowy Wonder. Now I'm going to show you the catalogue pages first. This page here, we've got lots of samples on there. I haven't bought the papers as such, but I bought the stamp set without the dies. I didn't really, hi Linda, I didn't really want to have the just the images of these, the dies. There aren't any domes or anything with them, so I didn't really want these myself to use. They have their place. There's all of these little pieces have got all these dies in here. Really lovely set, really cute. So I thought it's a reasonable price just for the stamp set alone. Stamp set on its own is £19 and you've got 20 stamps in there. So it's really good value. I really am looking forward to playing with this. You know me, I do like little bits and pieces. So I hope you like what I've got in store for you tonight. Something quite different. Okay, so that's going to be found on page 32 and 33 in our mini catalogue. Okay, so I'm going to get that out of the way. I think most of my stamps I'm using are on here on the blocks already. Just covering my glasses up. Don't lose those, Sandra. Pop that there. Okay. So, do we want to see what I've done already? No, I think we're going to go for it. And then when I get towards the end, I'm going to actually ask you some options. So I have got some pieces here that have been stamped. They're not been cut out yet, but we're going to start off with this. But I do need a piece of scrap paper. So I'm actually going to bring on, not yet for that one, I'll just bring a piece of copy paper. It's a bit big. So just bring a piece of that on because we're blending. So you've seen me blending before, so I'm going to use this long ways on. And now to start with, I've got a post-it note here, and with the long post-it notes, it's really easy to line this up wherever you want this to be along your grid mat, your grid paper. We have the sheets of grid paper here. They're A3, you've got inches on one side and you've got centimetres on the other, and these are invaluable. I use these a lot. The only reason I've got the larger piece out today is we might do some flicking later with some splashes. Okay, so I thought I'd line up on the grid mat here, but then I decided actually the depth that I want at the bottom, I'm going to line this up directly on the bottom of my card here. So I'm placing that along the bottom of the card and then I'm going to just press that down. Now for those of you who wondered how I got to this size, this is a whole piece of A4 paper, the cardstock here. I have scored this down at 9.5 centimetres and then I've cut it at 19. Okay, so it's double the size, so 9.5, so it's 18 and the 2 halves make 19. Okay, those of you want that in inches, using the top of my mat here, this is 3 3/4 twice. So if I open that out, I'll tell you what it is. That's 7.5, isn't it? Yeah, 7.5 inches. So if you're interested, 3 3/4 inches and cut at 7.5. So that is my base card. You'll have seen me do the envelope several times over, so any of my DL cards you'll see have got that envelope. If anyone's struggling, then please give me a shout. Okay, so we're going to do some blending to start with, but I've got an array of colours in front of me. So first of all, I'm going to start off with my lemon lolly. Okay, it's a bit hard to see the writing on here, so if any of you got some pale colours, just use a label maker and just stick it on there, and then you'll be able to see them clearer. So I'm going to do some of this. Now this is going to be down the bottom here, the lightest colour. Now when you see me blending, you normally see me work from the top and work all the way down. Because I'm using several colours today. Hi everybody joining, several names coming in there. Nice to see you tonight. So often I will start at the top with the blues and I will build it up so this gradually gets darker and I come down to the paler colours. Today I'm going to start part way down because it's just elbow grease really and time. So I'm just getting some ink on here, taking the excess off, and then just going to start bringing that down in the centre here. You can go clockwise and anti-clockwise. The idea is you're going to have a nice straight line along here with our edge of our sunset. Okay, so I'm working that in well, both directions. Okay, if there is a little bit of white on here, I'm not overly concerned, but I'm going to try and get the edge really defined. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm going to get a bit of elbow grease, so sorry, hopefully you won't go dizzy. We want to get some depth of colour in there, so I'm just kind of starting off the paper and coming in. This is one of the smaller brushes, so I kind of need a bit more oomph on there. So how has your work been? What have you been creating today or this week since you last saw me on Wednesday? What have you been up to? How many people have started their Christmas cards? I know one person messaged me to say she'd finished. Very impressed with that. September's not out yet and we're finished Christmas cards. That's just incredible. Okay, so I think that might be enough yellow. We can always, because we're going to come on kind of strips, we can always come back and add a little bit more on there if we want to. So next I'm going to go to Calypso Coral. I want kind of some orangey colours without being too in your face orange. So I've gone for Calypso Coral. So again, I'm just going to take that excess off there so we don't get big splodges in there. Start off the paper here and come down through the middle there. Okay, I want the two to overlap. I don't want them to be gaps. I don't want straight lines in between. So it can be roughly smooched together through the middle there. If you want another little bit of colour coming in off that end. So I tend to come in from the edges and then leave the middle kind of on a bit of lighter, because then you're tunnelling a vision down the centre. Okay, I didn't do art at school. My sister was the artist, but I'm happy creating with inks. Okay, so I'm going to have a little bit of orange through the middle. I think I'll leave it at that. I stuck my finger in the ink there, so that's going to try not to get that on everything. Just wipe that off. If I put these back over here, they might be out of my way. The next colour I'm going to go for is Moody Mauve. So this is one of our newer last year's ink colours. Okay, they're around for another 12 months. So this is kind of our pinkier colour. Okay, so I'm going to come through with some of that through the middle here. And no two cards will ever look the same. So you will always, you'll never get them looking exactly the same. Some will be lighter than others, darker than others. You might get some darker pieces in certain areas. But overall, you're trying to blend them all together. So you've not got any definitive lines through there. Okay. And at this stage, it wouldn't matter if I go over that top bit as well, actually. Has anybody any ideas what the last colour is going to be? Going across the top there. What would you like me to use? What do you think might go? Imagine this is going to be a sunset and we're going to need the piece that's the darkest at the top next. Who's got the catalogue in front of them? He's going to go through and pick out a nice colour to go on the top. Just trying to get this even darker at the top here. We are going to put one more on the top. It's starting to look a little bit graduated through there. I think we're kind of getting there. Just getting that a little bit darker. Ooh. Really does give your arms a workout when you do this, you know. I'm going to need that one in a little while. Not quite. I'm opening it up before I tell you, look. I'm using Blackberry Bliss next, one of my favourites, because I've kind of gone to the pinks. I wanted it to be dark, but I don't want it to be browns on the top there. I understand why you're saying that, because that is quite a muted pink, isn't it, really? And then this is going to come on the top here. Get a good covering of that on there. And then move that out of the way so I can get to it. I think that this one does actually need a re-ink. So I really need to get some re-ink on here. Like I said, I did one of these this afternoon, and they will always look different. The one I show you later will definitely look different. You know, if you put red and purple together, you get brown, don't you? I think, if my youth days serve me correctly. It is really an arm workout on this. You're using quite a lot of pressure to build up those layers. And our brushes, we get the big ones and the little ones. So you get a pack of 3 or a pack of 3 of these. I don't know why that's got a little orange marker on it. It shouldn't be on that one, it should be on the orange one, shouldn't it? There. I was given those as a little present. Somebody abroad, just as a gift, and they clip on the top here, so you know roughly what colours they are. Hi, Shaz. There we go. I think that's going to be me done. Got some good shades coming through there. So in order for me to get this off this piece of paper, I'm just going to peel this off. Hopefully my hands will be fairly clean. I'm going to peel that off, and there's my post-it note. That can actually now do another card, so I could use that all over again. So I'm going to get that out of the way. I do want to just grab a wet wipe under here. Just slide that look off, excuse me. Arm in front of the camera. Just get a little wet wipe and wipe my mitts so that I don't get ink everywhere. I know I've got some on my thumb. At least they stand half a chance of keeping it clean, don't they? There we go. So the next thing is some of the elements we had in the Snow Wonder stamp set. So this stamp set here. I am going to use my Stamparatus. Now it is retired. The Stamparatus is retired. So it is, sadly, it's not one that I can order for you. But having said that, there are other platforms around, and we know the situation why it's not going to be returning. We're not aware of any returning or anything similar. So I am going to use this because I want a dark colour on here, and I'm actually going to use the Mossy Meadow, which I've just put somewhere safe. So Mossy Meadow, okay, and I've already positioned this on the card here when I did my prototype, and I'm going to ink it up here. The reason I'm using the Stamparatus is because I want it to have a nice solid image, like we do when we use black, and we want it to be a nice jet black. There is one caveat with this though. When you ink this up, if you've gone slightly heavy on the end there, then you're going to get that, when you close this, you're going to get this over your project. So please make sure before you start that is actually clean and hasn't got ink on it. Okay, otherwise that would come up here. So I've got my, somewhere I have my air hockey puck. There we go. So I'm just going to press on there for you, just so you can see that. And I'm going to ink it up again. It is a good dark colour, but I could just get that a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Keep it as straight as I can, as flat as I can. But inevitably we will get a little bit on here. I'll just wipe that over. Okay, and there is our lovely greeting. Okay, so that's going to be there. Now, what I've done a little bit ahead of time to save some time for you is, we're not on here all night, is to stamp some of my images. I have some trees and I have the penguin. The penguin is sitting on here. And I will just show you just briefly what I did again with this. I turned this that way on. And then I had a strip of card coming down here. Let me just grab something just to show you. Okay, and I'm going to have that little one just hanging over at the top, a little bit at the bottom there, and then just fill that hole. So this is the black, obviously, for the penguin. And this will be what I mean with regards to making sure we get it nice and black, jet black. So we're going to stamp that in there. Okay. Oh, I've left his leg off. That's not very good. We've got a one-legged penguin. There we go. And he's dark, but in person I can see it, he's looking a bit grey, like a dark grey. So I'm just going to stamp him up again. And then put some pressure on him. Like so. And there he is. He's nice and jet black. If I bring him up to the camera, he's good and strong. There we go. So I'm going to leave him in there because I've already got some that I've got ready. Just going to move him over to the side there. I'll clean the plates on there later. So I'm going to do this first now before I decorate. I've got the elements here that I've already done, and I'll go through those with you in a sec. We're going to do some splatters on the back here. Now, if I at this stage bring in the one, what did I do with it? It was here just now. There, turned over. Okay, this is the card that I did earlier. So this is what we're aiming. And this is my card as it looks now. So I've now shown you how I got to that background. We have these extra embellishments here, but I'm just going to quickly fussy cut some out. I'm going to show you some tricks of the trade, how I shortened the trees. You can kind of get the gist of those here. I've got a full tree, and then I did a couple of little ones so that I can just trim along the shorter pieces. So I'm going to cut those out. It won't take me long, but I ran over a little bit prepping it. But what I do want to do is actually do some splashes on the back here so they can be drying. So while I cut, okay. So if you need to run away, you'll be able to, let me get those off the board actually, I don't want to splash them. So we've got on the side here, I have got my white ink here, my Whisper White re-inker. And you can do this on a Pringles lid, or you could use a tile. The only thing with a tile is when you add some water, it might just trickle off the edges here. This keeps it in a little lip on it, so it's not going to run anywhere. So what I'm going to do is just squeeze some of this onto the lid. Okay, just pop that in there. We don't want too much. Okay, get rid of that. And then I want my Wink of Stella. Okay, so we're going to undo this. These are ones that have got glitter in them, or they've been diluted slightly with some water. So I'm just going to squeeze, oh, like that. I'm going to squeeze some in there, and I'm going to mix those together. So actually I'm going to try and make myself a bit of a sparkly white. Okay, there's some air bubbles in there, but I'm just going to take that off there. And then I'm going to keep that off the page. And what I want to do is just to splatter on these two. Now, you know how I've said before, I used to splatter by knocking the Wink of Stella like this, or the other way around. But now I decided that actually it's better to do this downwards onto the page, because then you're not splattering it and splashing all the flecks of the white everywhere. You're just tapping it down onto the paper. Okay, I'm going to pick up a little bit more on the nib of that brush, and I'm going to do the same over here. Okay, and then you've got this lovely white effect. I'm only doing it on the top, and because I'm splattering less by doing it this way, so knocking the ink off the brush, it's going to give me a better look. I'm just going to put a little bit more on this one. I think this one's a little bit lighter. Okay, and then I'm going to put that aside, that little dish. That can be re-woken up, so if you went to bed tonight and you came back tomorrow and you wanted to do some more, you could just put some more, a little tiny dot of water on there. But the splatters on here are going to give you some snow in the sky there. Okay, so I hope you like that effect. So I'm going to pop those out of the way now on that mat. Pop them up there. And then I will just do some fussy cutting. Okay, so these are the elements I'm going to have. I have stamped the house from that stamp set. I've stamped that in the Blackberry Bliss. I've stamped the penguins as I just showed you, and then I've got the trees in Mossy Meadow. Okay, so I'm just coming along here. I'm just going to fussy cut these while I'm chatting to you and try and get rid of my rubbish as I go. So this is quite therapeutic, as we know. I was hoping to have these done, but then I was recording a video just quickly before I came on air and literally ran out of time. So we're less than 3 months now to Christmas. So we're past the 25th of September. So less than 3 months. What will it be? It'll be nearly New Year's Eve. You're not long out of bed. Yes. Oh, bless you. You're very brave coming on this early in the morning. Okay, so there is my little house. Okay, so here's Blackberry Bliss. I only need 2 of the penguins. I think I went a bit stamp crazy. And I don't need all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see how we go with those. But 2 of these little fellas. They're very quick to do. If you've got the right scissors, you know me. But again, it's something you can do. If you like these for your Christmas cards, you can just do these in front of the telly on a lap tray. I do like to just get rid of all this excess around here. You can't go too small when you're stamping because you need the stamparatus to get hold of a bit. And if it's too small, you haven't got anything to get hold of, so it can't hold it in place when you go back to do your second stamped image. If it's too small, it might move. Okay, but I was using all my scraps up today. Well, not all of them, I've got too many. Okay, so what is your favourite stamp set in the Christmas catalogue at the moment, the mini catalogue? Anybody watch me at the moment who's got the catalogue? I'm still loving my trees as the favourite. I think I really should have had some of these done early, shouldn't I? Multitasking. So those in the UK, I'll just give you another reminder of the postage rates going up. I got a feeling somebody said last time it was the 7th of September the prices are increasing. So just be conscious of those. Oh, your daylight's cut in already, hasn't it? Was that last night overnight that cut in? Ours is at the end of the month, I know. And then the nights pull in even faster. You're the other side of the hemisphere, aren't you? So your nights will start, your days will start getting longer now. So we'll relieve the monotony of this and stick some dimensionals on these 2 little fellas. I've already done the sentiment, so he's all good. And then the ink can be drying so we don't smudge it. This was on my list right from the beginning, but I thought, shall I, shan't I? And you know what really made me do it was the scrapbook pages. So Stampin' Up are bringing out some scrapbook pages and some workshop kits as well. So if any of you are into your scrapbook and you haven't seen some of my earlier videos, then there are scrapbook kits coming. And I thought I wanted to get one of them. And out of all of them, I thought, well, this was a stamp set I wanted to buy anyway. So I thought, right, I'll get one scrapbook kit. So I've got the one with the penguins. So I will be having a session playing with that. I will do some scrapbook pages and I will do some cards with the remainder. So just showing you how versatile they are. I haven't got that in my diary as to which week that will be yet, but I'm trying to juggle my diary. Ah, okay, so you've had the change Saturday. Of course you're ahead, yes, absolutely. Happy Monday to you then. The beauty of being live, you can't actually just hit the fast forward button like you can on a video. So I'm just running these round. And then what we're going to do is we're going to line these up on our projects, but I'll show you how I cut some of the little ones. So these are ones I've done partial images. So I'm going to cut that through the middle. There won't be a stem on here, but I've deliberately done them on the end of the card like this to show you. So I can just come along between those two layers and trim that off. Don't leave any green behind. And then I'm slightly tilting the scissors so you can kind of see hopefully what I'm doing. And then up the other side, they're quicker to cut because there's not so much of it. I just wanted some varying heights. I didn't want them all to be the same level. So I kind of quite like this one for that. There we go, cut off all those bits. Hi Gillian, thanks for joining. I've had my arms having a workout and I've had lots of blending for a nice sunset, and then these are going to be on the just to finish decorating it. Pop these on and we're done. We've got our splatters on already, so we've got our snowflakes. Now I know that would have taken a little bit longer, but what I was going to do, I'm just going to take a break from this. What I was going to do was use the snowflakes in here. There's two little ones, so I'd probably use more of this one and stamp those in the back of my sky. So if I had stamped them in here, and just pick one up. So if I was, this is one I've already made. If I was to stamp these in the sky randomly wherever I wanted them, and then do the heat embossing with clear embossing powder, then when you go over to ink them over the top in our rainbow colours there, it would resist the ink. The clear embossing powder will resist the ink. White might stain the white, but if you're using strong colours, but the clear will resist, and so you shouldn't end up with any colour there. It will just, when you polish it off with a paper towel, you'll end up with your white glowing through. So it will be shiny and then it will look lovely. So I will be doing that on other cards. I will play and share some images with you. Okay. But for now, I'm just fussy cutting these. Take off the excess because it really does help not having to carry a load of card in your hands. So literally we're just going around the edge of these. I'm slightly slanting my scissors so you can see, and you've got 3 tiers on these trees. So I've done the shorter versions, and hopefully you can see all of this just whizzing along. How are we for time? We're not too bad at all. I'm still always after requests for if there's any technique or anything that you particularly would like to see. I have hopefully very soon, if it's not there in the inbox already, I'm having my ideas. I didn't take part last month. I have my ideas tutorial. There's a number of demonstrators globally. So any of my customers who have placed an order this month will get the October version of the tutorial. One of them I used my live that I did the other day, last time, and the other one is a box, a lovely useful Christmas box. One of my favourites, and I've just rejigged it to make it a little bit more economical with the cutting of the card. So it's a different version. There, take that excess. I think we might just build this one up now. I've got enough trays here to make and then I'll add the extras later. Do something with it is a sweet set, Linda. Yes, it's cutesy, but it's not too cutesy. He's got a penguin on it. There's no and the snowman, so you've got quite a lot there. And it's like I say, the stamps only. You can do a lot if you don't mind doing the cutting. You can do a lot without the dies. You're paying for the dies. I didn't want as I said earlier, the snow globes. I wasn't fussed about those. There's no domes. I'm not aware of there being any domes. If anybody knows, then please do put me right. Like that, to inset them and raise them out. There we go. So we'll go with those ones, and if we get time, we'll do some more. So we have our card coming back. So I placed one of these. Just want to flatten that a little bit more. Where is my bone folder? It's bouncing up a little bit, and I don't like that. There we go, that's better. So we're going to place some dimensionals on the penguins. I can find where I put my case. Yeah. I had coffee out with my friend yesterday. She came and picked me up yesterday morning, and I had to. Did have an ink pad to collect, but I had to let her come in and say, "Look, you've got to come and look how clean and tidy my room is," because everything was all put away. So it was lovely, but it doesn't take long crafting to get it upside down again. So I've put pads on here. On the last card, I put him at a little bit of a jaunty angle as though he's fallen off the end. This, I started off with the tree. I placed my tree just along the borderline. We're actually going to make a scene along there. So we're going to put one of those at the bottom. And then we're going to get one of the mini ones, bring those over, and put a little mini one in the top. Okay, that should be enough for them. So if we set this offset, I don't want it dead in the middle. Okay, and then we're going to have a full tree on pads. So put a big one at the bottom, and then a little one part way up near the tip. There. So he's going to be raised. Don't forget, I like to say my rule of thumb is to have at least one pad, but not, if you put two on, it needs to be a by hand card. Okay, just bear that in mind, because it does, certainly for the UK postage, it does push the postage up. Then it becomes a large letter when it's not. Okay, so I've put these, I put one over this side, like so. These little ones, I'm going to put in front. So I staggered one here. So I wanted him to be kind of down here. So I'm going to put those on flat, and I'm going to put a little dimensionals along. In fact, I'm going to use a little strip along the bottom here. Okay, snip that, and I'm going to put that along the bottom of my tree. Okay, and then the top end is going to have a little bit of Tombow on that. You can vary this as much as you like. You can put, that's because it's going to be hanging off the bottom there. Okay, just in front of that window. So it's still single layer there. Oh look, I've got some white paint on there. So that one's in. Then we've got this one, we're going to put this one flat at the back with the Tombow. You sent me a video on Messenger. Aha. I will take a look when I go off air. I was chatting this afternoon. I've not been online loads today. Love the teeny tiny house. Yeah, he's just in there, and they're straight sides. I kind of took a look at it and thought, you know what, I can fussy cut these. So yeah, that's my game, you know. So because that one's flat, I'm going to put this one on pads. Grab a little one at the top there. So we just want to stagger them really. So I had one in front of the house here, just so it comes over the edges, and varying the heights, and then we will, I can see that that is wet in there, so I need to be careful I don't smudge it. So we'll bring back another couple of these. There we go. Glasses down. We've got two little ones on there. So really I could do with one big and one top end. There we go. I'll do the top end first. I'll just quickly come around here and finish that. Bring that around the bottom and around there. Like I say, if anybody's struggling with an envelope for this card, it is a standard DL card, so it is like an office business envelope, so you can use those. But if you wanted to make your own from paper, designer series paper, then I do have a template I can share with you. I'm gradually getting all my tutorials moved onto, as I do new ones, onto Google Docs. So when the ideas tutorial, the master one with everybody on, when that comes back, it will be transferred onto Google Docs. Then I can just bung you a message with the tutorials on it. Okay, it's a lot easier for me. And then it can be done easier with when an order comes in. So I'm going to place that one just there for a minute actually. Finish this one and then see which order is going to look better. You'll find that you'll never get them exactly the same place. So just tweak it. And they're, like I say, they're simple enough to snip round. Just follow up there, leaving a little bit of a white border like they've done in between the layers. Oh, Linda, there's quite a bit here for fussy cutting. I am realising that. So yeah, but the dies are there. I'd got so many other things I wanted to buy. Then I just cut a few pennies on that one. So I will do a series of these for cards and things. So it's a cute little set. So I'll give you lots of ideas. There's just not enough hours in the day, is there? Got to think, if it's a set you're going to use a lot, it's going to save you a lot of time having the dies. There we go. So we've got another 3D one there. Just going to pop that one there and maybe put the little one over to the side, or we could have him staggered and put the little one in the middle there. So this one I could stagger that over there, but at the bottom here, these two little points here are going to be straddling on their own, so they need some dimension. So just look to see where it's going to sit and pick that up, and then the top of that is going to have Tombow on because it's going to lean on the one that's already raised. Okay, so it's just going to stagger him a little bit and straddle that stem at the bottom there, and that way or that way over there. Okay, and then this one can be through the middle. Just a couple of little ones. There you go, and then we're just going to fill that little void in there, just slot him in a jaunty little angle, and there, my friends, we are done. Okay, so we've got the sparkle is there, it is in the top here, it is with the white and the wink of Stella, and I don't know if you can see all of that when I shine it to you, but I can see both of those. I can see some wink of Stella and some white, and then this is the darker sky. Okay, this is the other one. So this is the one that I did earlier. So you've got two slightly different. There's more yellow on here. You can do that when you're over next week if you like, Linda. I can go through some blending with you. Just make a short list as to what you'd like to see first. Okay, what you'd like to do, because we won't get it all done in one go. Oh, bless. Thanks, Lizzie. I often find that it is seeing something to know that, you know, how you can use it. It's got more uses than you think. I do snowbanks, I do wink of Stella, I draw piles, I do torn snowbanks, I do all sorts of things like that as well. So you will see those coming up. All I will say is leave your skies overnight, because I can see that these are both wet still. It'll be very easy to smear them. Okay, so I wouldn't like you to spoil them. Just love it. Well, and when you're next over, you guys can do it as well if you like. We can do something like this. Just bring a container, a Ferrero Rocher box or, you know, tray or something like that to lay them in, to take them home so they don't get knocked. Because these really, or we do it first thing in the morning. Oh, bless, Anne. Thank you. I do, you know me, I do love sharing. I like this sky better. Probably I had longer at it, I was making it darker. This one's got a little bit more yellow. Oh, and I did colour I've missed that off, look. Let me just show you. Can you see the difference between that one and this one? I've got my lemon lolly, the ink that we used. I've got this, I've got the small end, and I'm just going to quickly colour in my windows. Okay, just very lightly. Okay, through the middle there. It is the lighter colour of the two. It's just to give a little bit of glow behind there. There isn't a die for the door, so if you wanted to colour the door, you could colour him as well. I should have coloured those before I stuck the tree on, shouldn't I? Underneath there. I want to just touch that in the middle there. There we go. That's done. Okay, I've done that one, but I hadn't done that one. But you could colour that front door. Maybe colour that in a one of these colours we've used in here. So maybe Calypso Coral, or even, you know, you can't do it the Blackberry Bliss because that's the colour of the house. Okay, but just choose some colour that's going to match with it. Okay, coordinate. Like I say, I can see you obviously do like that one, so that's good. So you have enjoyed yourselves tonight. Thanks for sticking with me and seeing me to the end. And I will leave you with those. There will be some more as we go through the next 3 months. Just bring them down a bit so you can see them properly on the camera. Okay, because otherwise it's just chopping the top off, isn't it? Okay, please, yeah, yes, absolutely, Linda. Just give me a list, what you'd like to do, and I'll have things ready for you. Okay, so I'm going to just bring you back over here and come back to me. Okay, so thanks again for joining me. So we have got some specials coming up. There is a new join offer that is starting for the 1st of October for the whole month. Excuse me. And there's also some offers on the kits, up to 30% off the kits. Now, Linda, I know you like the kits, but if anybody has any kits in the kits collection, start making your list and getting ready to for the sale. Then you can look online. I will post to remind you to go look. There will be very different amounts off, but there will be up to 30%. My own personal hunch is that the 30% will be off the older kits to clear them out of the warehouse to make room for the new ones that are coming through. Okay, but that is my own personal feeling, so don't quote me if I'm wrong. But that's my corporate logic for you in my finance career, that's probably how that will work. So have a look anyway as soon as they come in. Okay, and enjoy those discounts. Remember, if you're local and you shop through me, then you will be saving your $6.95 postage as well. So if you're able to pop in and collect, or I can reach you when I'm out and about, then yeah, you'll save your postage. Okay, so just let me know and I'll see how I can help you best.